The topic this week after 23 minutes.
Yeah, no kidding. We're out of time. As Ryan just
Is
talks
fake
about
ID.
them. Oh, I love their bodies. They're both beautiful to me.
They're both awesome.
You are so beautiful to goosh. This is Fake ID, written by Spewy.
Oh, come on.
What is the concept of this show, Dave?
Well, it just as kids, we used to use the fake ID. You know, you'd get into a bar, you'd grow a little mustache, maybe you smoked some ciggies back then, a little nicotine stain, and you had a fake ID. I can start us off in Manitoba.
Do it.
Other provinces weren't like this because I had friends in other provinces, but we had the easiest fake driver's license to fake in the world. It was actually paper. There was no photo at all.
It was like a vaccination card.
It was like a card that was made out of a cheap cardboard, and it looked like they used a typewriter to put your name in. So I was going to college in Thunder Bay, and the drinking age was 19, and it was 18 in Winnipeg. So I took I was born in 72. I took the 2 off of the 72. I just scraped it off with a knife, took a black pen, and just wrote 1. Then I threw it in the wash. So the whole driver's license looked really worn. It looked distressed, you know. So then I would go to the bars and they would say, "Oh, need some ID," and they'd just look okay, and I'd go, "Oh, sorry," you know, I'd washed it in my pants and that kind of thing. But it was an easy in. So that was, you know, one of mine. And then, you know, and then Chris and I have this mutual friend that had the best one. I don't know, you want to save that for a little bit there, but
Okay, hold on a second. Let me ask you a quick question here.
yeah.
How did you scrape off the 2?
Because it was made out of that cheapy cardboard. So I was able to just scrape it with a knife over and over
So you're
and over.
scraping off a layer of the cardboard.
Yes.
Paper,
Yeah, I peeled off the 2. Yeah, exactly. So there was no photos or anything. And it was kind of strange. This was 1990, and we still didn't have photos. And they came in maybe in 92, which is crazy. So you could get away with murder.
Okay, so I'll compound upon that.
Yeah.
In that, I used to go to the Ville, which is, we've done a whole show on the Ville. There's a movie in there somewhere, which we'll get to. We'll get to it at some point. And the Gouge and I would go to the Ville, and Warren Rum his gum on his bum, would make fake ID. We opened a fake ID business with the same thing, which was a birth certificate, which was a one-sided. Like I said, I'm not even making a joke about this. The vaccination card you get looked like basically what you got from the driver's license. It wasn't like now where it was plastic, or there was like a driver's license now has like a plastic kind of thing on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like it's hard. Like you can't bend it. It's got a photo on it. There you go. These did not have that.
Well,
These
thanks.
were literally
Thanks
like
for that.
this
Yeah.
and this. It's like a you know, a two-sided piece of paper with just your name and it on whatever it was your. So what we do, we wouldn't scrape it off. We would go to a Office Depot type place, get decals, and we take some white out over the 70, white it out, and change it with the little numbers to a 6 and an 8. And this is in 1986, where we were literally, I'm not joking, 15 years old.
Yeah.
And we would change it to 68 or 60, whatever it was, to make us 18 years old. And then we'd go to the Ville to watch strippers and drink beer. And if you think I'm lying, I'm not, because it would always work at the Ville, and down the road at the A, which was kind of the cool dance club, nightclub, as Steve would say, it would work half the time.
Yeah.
No photo.
That's where
no
Mama
nothing.
Sabino worked, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
She did.
Wow. And thank you to Sabinos for the amazing advertisement. So, Rybo, did you have a fake ID as well?
Well, yeah, I mean, also to go to the Ville, but at that time it was the crazy bar. But it is funny that there was like no pictures, nothing. You just
Nothing.
had like this, you just had a birth certificate, and it had like your age on it, and then it would have your because even driver's license didn't have a photo or anything. It just
Nothing.
had like your
Nothing.
hair color, your eye color,
Yeah.
your height.
Yeah.
Maybe even have your weight. I'm not sure if it
Maybe.
did that.
I
But it was
don't
like
think
you
it
had
had
to,
that.
you'd go there and you'd have to, like, a whole bunch of us had fake ID and stuff, and you'd go in there and you'd have to answer the questions. You'd have to know the answers to the questions. It would be
Right.
like, so what year did you graduate? And you have to go, oh my God. Or you'd figure like, so you're 18 now? So you're 19 now? And you'd have to go, no, I'm 20 because I was born in April.
Carry the 2.
Yeah, I carried
But
the
you
two,
knew
you'd have-
that, though. They would get you on that once. The next time, be like, when's your birthday? November 9th. What year? 1967.
Yeah. Well, then
God.
you'd have to write your, they said, well, what year were you in grade 6 or something like that? And you'd have to
1979. Who the knows that anyways?
Hey, Chris had it down. But then
Yeah,
you have
right.
to practice your signature. You'd have to like
Bring your calculator out.
down. You'd have to get it down so they'd make you sign for it, whatever. I had my friend had Ryan Minkus had a fake ID that his name was Dino Mazzi, and it was like 22 years old, and he used to go to Fuddruckers and basically drink all night, like underage. Like, it was a bunch of 15-year-olds sitting there, and then one guy with a 22-year-old fake ID that he ordered pictures of beer. Dino Mazzi, and you'd sign. You look at the signature, look exactly like Dino Mazzi's signature. I remember when a friend of mine, Tracy Cisa, went to the bar once, and she had her fake ID, and they made her sign for it, and she was so drunk she just put Tracy Cisa instead of the actual name that was
The
on
fake name. Oh, that's
and they
great.
just said, they looked at it and said, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's
They never
what they
check.
did. They didn't get into a lot of trouble, man. Baldwin Kwan, the Lake Louise membership. That's the craziest one. That's our Chris and I mutual friend Trevor.
Okay,
And-
well, it's not
yeah.
Trevor though. Let me tell you the story.
No, I know.
Okay, do you know the story?
Well, he's told me it many times, but you tell it because you were from the era at the time. So
Okay, so these guys lived in Okotoks, Alberta, and they worked at a place called Big Rock Chinese Food. It was the only Chinese food place in Okotoks, and they knew this family that, like I said, it was like, listen, you're in the middle of Prairie, Alberta, and there's a Chinese family that owned a Chinese restaurant, of course. So they worked there washing dishes. So Jason Carter, who's Trevor's younger brother, befriended the young son of the Kwan family who owned the Big Rock Chinese Food. And the Kwan family named this young son Baldwin.
Oh,
Baldwin Kwan.
yeah.
Okay, that's real. So then Baldwin Kwan went and got a ski pass from Lake Louise.
Oh,
So
no.
when Jason Carter found out that Baldwin Kwan had a ski pass from Lake Louise, when he bought a new one, he asked for the old one. Then cut out Baldwin Kwan's face, put his in, and changed the date. And here is the new Baldwin Kwan.
Oh. And
Right.
rode for an entire season unlimited, which even in 1989 would be a G note, for
this.
Christ's sake.
It says Baldwin Kwan. This is the whitest guy with the worst New Kids on the Block hairstyle ever. Baldwin Kwan. So we have been laughing about this. So this is Trevor's little brother, Jason Dave. who's on
Oh,
there.
okay.
So we laughed so hard
Okay.
because Baldwin Kwan. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I'm glad you told it. I had a different take. That's
Because
great.
Trevor probably says that it's him, but that was actually his little brother, Jason,
Okay.
who procured the ski pass as fucking Baldwin
Nice.
Kwan.
Oh, that's so funny.